This is the Fantasy Roadshow.
Hey, what's going on? Everybody, welcome in to another episode of the Fantasy Roadshow. We are your hosts, per usual. It's Kulz and Truck back again. You can find me at fantasy_truck, or you can find him at Kulz_sports. Make sure you follow the show at Fantasy Roadshow. Check us out on Substack, thefantasyroadshow.substack.com. And as always, this episode is brought to you by Rule One Proteins. Go to www.rule1proteins.com. Get all of your protein there and enter in Roadies40 at checkout for 40% off. That is Roadies40. Kulz, how you doing, buddy? Oh, there's some Rule One protein. I like it.
Rule One protein. Yeah, so I'm on the road right now, so I brought a couple of these sample packets with me. It's just super easy to travel with. So
yeah,
always staying hydrated with protein, and yeah, they make it convenient with those sample packs. But
oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I am on the road as well. I'm in the truck. Yeah, it's
we have a little bit of a delay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
we're good.
We're good. We just have probably like a 4 or 5 second delay. Well, 3 to 5 second delay, but it's all good.
Okay, so yes, I am on the road. I am currently right outside of Boston, Massachusetts. And yeah, we're just we're gonna make the effort here. We did want to preface this episode. We will also be putting out our first Substack article relating to our reactions. We'll be going over writing out every game and what happened and kind of the fantasy fallout. So if this show takes a dive for the worst, which is definitely possible, definitely go to YouTube or go to thefantasyroadshow.substack.com to get the article. Right, Kulz?
Yeah. You kind of bulleted out some notes for the games today, so maybe we add that into the Substack rotation. But yeah, I'm in Northeast Louisiana, Monroe.
Monroe, Louisiana.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's legit.
I'll be here for a few days.
Oh, okay, cool. When are you going back then? Is that like what, Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah.
TBD. Okay. All right. Nice. Well, have fun out there, Kulz.
Seems accurate.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, then let's hop right into it. We got a big game tonight. Actually, wouldn't be that very. I don't think it's gonna be that close. 49ers in Minnesota, but we're gonna go over. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't think so. But you could be right.
It's a 7.5 point spread. It could be a touchdown game.
Okay. All right. Well, stay tuned, right? So let's talk about the first game. We didn't really talk about Thursday's matchup, the Jaguars against the Saints.
Yeah, I mean,
the Jaguars won 31.
Jaguars are getting better,
Yeah, they are. I mean, the Jaguars are on a 3-game win streak now?
Yeah, they're starting to look good as we thought would happen. Trevor Lawrence had a good game. I mean, I wouldn't say like he had an amazing game, but he did it with his feet when everyone thought his knee was going to be an issue.
Had 8 for 59.
Yeah, big touchdown to Kirk. So like he did enough to win that game. He pretty much they were never like in trouble in that game in my mind. That it seemed like they kind of had a good grasp of that game from start to finish.
Yeah, how about Travis Etienne? Another big game, his third game in a row with 2+ touchdowns. Yeah,
where are the Tank Bigsby preseason truthers at?
I think we heard from one of them, and Shane. He had a lovely note that he put out for.
I want to talk to all of them. Like,
yeah.
How many times did I say like Tank Bigsby was never impressive? Like in college, he just never. We didn't even hear about him at Ellis. Like, unless you put up a very nice game against Alabama, against LSU, against Georgia, people don't really hear you. He had a nice game against Kentucky. He's just, I think a lot of that was just so overhyped. I mean, that narrative, like, what did we say preseason? ETN is Trevor Lawrence's guy.
Yep.
They haven't necessarily broke out and had success in the pros yet, but time's coming. I don't know.
Yeah,
ETN,
absolutely.
He's always been a stud. So not.
Yeah, expect that to continue. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Calvin Ridley held to only 1 catch on 4 targets, completely irrelevant in this game. It's just that hot and cold narrative we were talking about, right?
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with him. I'm glad I faded him completely this entire year. I think 0% underdog exposure and 0% redraft exposure. So
we should do a little episode on our underdog exposure one of these days. I'm sure it's
I know
we're pretty good.
Yeah, good and bad, like everyone else's.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the Saints almost won. Foster Moreau dropped a big pass in the end zone. Tough loss for him, but
LSU boy.
Is he an LSU boy? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was like, I'm in a pretty dark place right now. Every single person that I know is at the game.
Ugh.
He's a tough kid, though. He fought back from cancer, and he's back on the field. And
yes, yeah, no, I know, but it just has to hurt when it slips out of your hands like that. So, fun fact: I watch CBS Big Brother, and there's a contestant on there. I think he went to LSU because every time the show's live, he always gets up and says, "Go Tigers."
Love that.
I think of you every time. I'm like, oh, this guy. LSU boy.
That might end up being me in a season or two.
Oh, little teaser there. I like it. Yeah, we should work on getting on buddy games. We should get on buddy games. Look into that. It's like it's a competition show with like a group of like 4 people, and you compete each week. And every week, one team loses and goes home.
What network is it on?
CBS.
That's in play then.
Look into it. It's called Buddy Games. I'll send you a clip later on. But anyway, back to the game. Alvin Kamara, massive game, massive workload, even with Jamal Williams back in action. 14 targets, 12 receptions for 91 yards. Also 17 carries for 62 yards. Like, I mean, come on. I love to see that. I was worried about Jamal coming back. I didn't know what the workload would look like, but that's awesome.
If you have Alvin Kamara, you're extremely happy the rest of the year. This is what he does.
Yeah, definitely. Next week, the Jacksonville Jaguars are at the Steelers, and the Saints are at the Colts. So we'll see what happens there.
Yep.
Next game, extremely. Huh?
We're about to do a live hat review. Max just got a couple hats in the mail.
Oh shit! What do we got?
There's the shirt.
I don't know. This is a
nice
t-shirt.
I like it.
Let's see that. Oh shit.
Oh, I like that. That's awesome.
Oh, keeping it real.
What's the company?
What's the company called? Sendero
Provisions. It's out of Texas.
Sendero Provisions.
Okay.
Looks like they got some cool gear.
Yeah,
pretty legit. Check them out.
No free ads, though. No free ads.
Not a sponsor. All right. Next game I thought was a very exciting game. The Cleveland Browns beat the Indianapolis Colts 39-38. Cleveland improves to 4-2. Colts fall to 3-4. Did you get to watch this game? This was a great game.
No. I watched the box scores. The entire 12 o'clock slate I watched on my phone on Gamecast on my phone.
Oh, okay.
I was driving, so I didn't get to see anything really until the 3 o'clock slate. So watched 3 through Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, this one I watched. I was watching Red Zone, so I saw a lot of this game. There was a lot of points that scored in this game. The Colts put up 38 points on an elite defense. Like, that is crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Jerome Ford sprained his ankle. It's a low-grade, high ankle sprain. Reports just came out not too long ago, 1 to 2 week injury. So I would imagine if Kareem Hunt is not owned, he's probably going to be one of the highest targeted people. We'll talk about that on tomorrow's episode for the Hitchhikers. But
yeah, it's probably a pretty good ad too, since he has rest of season value, regardless if Ford's there or not. So
Yeah, we were talking about him, a couple of Hitchhiker episodes ago. So, other than that, dude, Deshaun Watson, in like the fifth play, he suffers a so-called concussion, right? So he falls back, Deshaun Watson. So he falls back, slams the back of his head on the ground, and then gets pulled out. He was cleared to play, but didn't come back into the game. Like it seemed like he didn't want to be in there. He almost threw a second interception in the first quarter.
Yeah, who knows what happened there? I mean, he could have been having some shoulder discomfort and kind of used that as a convenient. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
it's
all right.
frustrating.
We got a quick question here. How do you pronounce this, Kulz? Shefanabi. Shefanabi. Thank you for your question. My wide receivers are CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Michael Pittman, T. Higgins, DJ Moore, and Drake London. I have Deonta Johnson.
I think
Deontay Johnson. That one. The spelling threw me off there. He's on IR. Should I drop Johnson or drop Ingram, London to keep Johnson? My tight end is Andrews. So,
yeah, I would. I would try to trade Ingram. I mean, Andrews, you're not going to start Evan Ingram over Andrews the rest of the season.
No.
He's going to be a touchdown machine. The Ravens might be the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, and if you're not moving anyone between all of your wide receivers, I mean, Deontay Johnson is the worst one. So
I wouldn't drop him, though. He's not going to be – he's going to be a lot better. Like, people don't like him. I mean, because he didn't score a touchdown last year. But he's like not – he's going to be okay. Like, I would almost rather have Deontay Johnson than, like, DJ Moore with T-Bag.
Okay. I disagree, but, I mean, yeah, I can understand where you're coming from.
I mean, T-Bag's, like, not an actual good quarterback.
I think he looked pretty good, but his numbers
What college did he go to?
I couldn't tell you. D2 college and put up some records. He broke some records, set some records. So we'll talk about that Bears game soon. But so
no one knows where he went to college. End of story.
Yeah. But I would not drop Ingram or London to keep Johnson. That's just how I'm answering that question.
Yeah, just unfortunately I can't make any transactions because he's stuck in my IR spot. Yeah, you should have had some foresight there, I guess.
I don't think you could drop him now anyway. He's locked.
I would drop Evan Ingram, but that's just me. I have Deontay. Do I drop Johnson or Ingram? I mean, like, what is Ingram right now? Tight end what?
I mean, I can take a look real quick.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram is tight end 6.
Tight end 6. So I guess you just drop Deontay. That's what you have to do. So
yeah.
Giannis signed a 3-year, $186 million deal.
Holy shit! Did that just go through? Is that official? Wow.
Yeah. I'll drop Maher and try to trade them. LMFAO. Yeah, I mean that's smart. I would do that.
Yes. Yeah. Drop your kicker. Pick another one up later.
A bag of, nothing. So
yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right, getting back to the Cleveland-Indianapolis game. Dude, Myles Garrett just completely was a game wrecker in this game. And I know you love Myles Garrett, but he played like the surefire defensive player of the year. And I know it's been going back and forth between him and a couple players, but, dude, he looked dominant.
I'm pretty confident about that preseason pick.
Yeah, he's looking really good right now. So Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor had a 50-50 split this game. They both had 18 carries. And, we both thought that this would trend in that direction where Taylor would be taking it from Moss. But I don't know, man. I mean, Jonathan Taylor is clearly their future. But is it strange to think that they're just going to be in a timeshare the rest of the season with how Moss is playing?
No, they're not. That's not going to happen.
I mean, they're probably going to want to run the ball a lot with Minshew. But I still think Moss is definitely going to have a decent role here, a lot larger than I originally anticipated. Once that
Well, then
Taylor
trade for him.
contract came through.
I had Johnson and Moss both starting against you. If you think that Moss has long-term value, so rest of season value, he is on the trading block.
Okay, I'll take. All right, I'll take a look at it after the pod tonight, and I'll shoot you something.
I'll give you value at what I value him for, and you value him higher, so we should be able to get a deal done.
I like where your head's at there, Kulz. I like it. Okay, well, we'll get you guys updated on that. Frank the Dank, what's going on? Thanks for joining, Frank. All right,
Frank the Dank. What's up? Thanks for joining.
Josh Downs looked really good. He has a nice connection with Minshew. He had a big play, but other than that, it took a while for Michael Pittman to get rolling. But I don't know, not much there. The Colts should have won that game. There was a penalty at the end of the game that was a hit on the quarterback, which bad call, just bad ref play all weekend. So next week, Cleveland is at Seattle, and the Colts are versus at home against the Saints. So
sorry for putting the beat down on you in that league.
Yeah, you got me in that one. Yeah.
7 minutes ago, Justin Ross was arrested and booked this afternoon on criminal property damage charges.
What's going on with Justin Ross? Did he get released or what?
He just
no. That was I can't think of his name. There's so many.
Watson got hurt. Justin Watson.
That's it. Okay.
Let's see who has Justin Ross in that one league.
We have a fun thing in one of our leagues where if you roster someone that gets arrested, everybody has to chip in and pay you each $5 per team. So we got
called again Jailbird.
Jailbird, yeah. The Jailbird rule. That's funny. Yeah. That is funny.
PJ Stern with the Jailbird cash.
That's awesome. Cash in the bank for someone getting arrested. All right, next game, which is, in my opinion, the biggest upset of the week. The Buffalo Bills lose to the New England Patriots 25-29. The Bills fall to 4-3. The Patriots improved to 2-5. This was an ugly game. Belichick's 300th win. His 300th win officially.
Yeah, good for Belichick.
Kendrick Bourne, back-to-back good games. So that was interesting to see. Stevenson made his day as a receiver, caught 6 balls for 51 yards. So Stevenson hasn't been good as of late, but he had a decent game. Mac Jones actually had a good game. He didn't throw an interception, which is good. He had 272 yards and 2 touchdowns. But that's about it for the Patriots.
Bronson's back.
Hey, Bronson, thanks for joining. Nice question here. Trade Jonathan Taylor and Waddle for Justin Jefferson. No. Yeah. I think Kulz and I are both in agreement here. Justin Jefferson, he's not for sure coming back directly after the 4-week absence. Like, there's a possibility he misses more time. And JT has got a nice role here, and Waddle. I like Waddle as well, so I would not make that trade.
No, I'm not confident in Justin Jefferson coming back like this year. I think realistically it's 6, and then after that it's hopefully, but they're not good. They're going to be 2-6 today, 2-5.
Yeah.
No, 2-6. They'll be 2-5, right?
Yeah, they're 2-4 right now. They'll be
2-5 tonight, and it doesn't end there.
They have a good schedule. They have an easy schedule in the back half of the season.
Yeah, but when you're already 2-8, what is the rest of the season?
Yeah, you're definitely right.
Let's see. So they have Niners tonight, at Packers, at Falcons. You win one of those 3 at best. Saints at Broncos, Bears, Raiders, Bengals, Lions, Packers, Lions. Yeah, I mean, it gets a little bit easier, but you're going to lose tonight. You're going to be 2-5 at Packers. That's not a for sure win. At Falcons, that's a tough game. You probably
Yeah.
lose that one. Let's say you
And
go
then the
1-3,
and then the Saints right after
3-7, 3-8 at Broncos. It could be 3-9 going at home against the Bears. On
God, I
Thanksgiving.
fucking hope so. I hope so.
I don't know. I think that team's still downfall.
Yeah.
Been saying it since preseason.
Yep, been preaching. All right, well, how about let's talk about something you're going to love to talk about. The Daltonian Kincaid breakout is official. 8 for 75. He led the team in receptions and receiving yards. How sweet was that to see?
Yeah, on top of that, Knox is having wrist surgery.
Yes, timetable has not been released yet. Wrist surgery, and so Dalton Kincaid all the way, huh?
Yeah, it was good to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely helps our underdog exposure. James Cook finally caught a touchdown pass and quieted the Latavius Murray truthers out there. He had 13 carries to Latavius's 4 carries, which I love to see as a James Cook owner. I was worried about that. I know last week that was not the story going in coming out of the last game. So
how bad is my audio when I sit back here? Is it bad?
It's not terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you pretty good. All right, so Buffalo is taking on Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home next week on Thursday night, and the Patriots are going to be at Miami taking on the Dolphins.
Dolphins beat up on bad teams.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. The Washington Commanders lose to the New York Giants 7-17. The Giants improved to 2-5. The Commanders fall to 3-4. The Giants just looked like a much better team with Tyrod Taylor. Like I texted you. I don't know did I text you this or not. I don't know, but yeah, dude, Tyrod Taylor looked good out there. They just moved. Yeah, absolutely. Saquon definitely had an effect on it. He had a decent game. He did catch a touchdown pass, which was great to see. Darren Waller heavily active. 7 for 98 and a touchdown, which is good.
It makes a big difference with Saquon. Like he is by far their best playmaker.
Yeah.
Their only real playmaker, Yeah. So don't discount how much that matters,
Yeah. I remember seeing Tyrod Taylor just drop a couple balls in some buckets, just throwing it up there for Jalen Hyatt. He had a couple explosive plays. Only a couple, though. Only a couple. The Commanders continue to struggle. Chris Rodriguez Jr. led the team in rushing yards. Watch out, everybody. Okay,
it's our boy,
Chris Rodriguez Jr. If you haven't seen his highlights from college, look him up. The guy's a runner. And Brian Robinson is continuing to struggle. So we'll see how it develops in the next couple of weeks. Howell continues to spread the ball around. There were 4 receivers with 6 or more targets in this game. So it makes it hard to trust any one of them on a weekly basis, but they're all flex worthy. Next week, the New York Giants are taking on the Jets at home, and the Washington Commanders are taking on the Philadelphia Eagles at home. So rough game next week for Howell and the boys. All right, next game we have the Detroit Lions losing to the Baltimore Ravens 6-38. The Ravens put up 38 points. I got to commend you, Kulz. You called this one during our Thursday episode when we went over our matchups, and I thought you were crazy. I'm like, dude, this guy's nuts. The Lions are humming right now. There's no way they lose this game. And, dude, this game was over by the second quarter. Like, just Lamar. I will say one of Lamar's best games he's ever played.
Yeah, I remember what I said. I said I don't think he necessarily had a great game in London. And usually when Lamar has games where he doesn't look sharp, he follows that up with just like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And, that's what happened. It was a great spot for the Ravens. The only thing that was against them was coming back from London. Yeah. Everything else played right into their hand to have a big game.
Yeah, it didn't seem to affect them at all, dude. Lamar Jackson made it. This was a statement win for sure.
Yeah, and I think I said on red light, green light that green light Mark Andrews 2 touchdown game. Didn't I?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd have to re-listen. I know it was a green light, but I didn't hear you say 2 touchdowns.
Pretty sure I specifically said 2 touchdown game for Andrews.
So. This is a typical your typical Andrews type of game. You know what I mean? Where 2 touchdowns, like 6 for 50 or something, and 2 tutties. So that's great to see. Lamar accounted for almost 400 total yards and 4 touchdowns, 3 in the air, 1 on the ground. So just a massive game. Mediocre game for Zay Flowers, 4 for 75. He had 1 big play early on, so that was intriguing. But
4
like
for
to see
63 and 2 touchdowns was Andrews.
Yeah, so right on par with Odell Beckham actually got some targets. He had
5 for 49.
Probably his best game of the season, I would say. I mean, he was consistently involved.
He's such a bitch.
Dude, the Lions though, when they're down in games, they're not afraid to sling the ball. Like, not one bit, dude. I think Jared Goff had threw the ball over almost 56 times or something like that. I don't know exactly
Dan
what.
Campbell doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Amon-Ra accounted for 19 targets, 13 receptions, 102 yards. Jahmyr fucking Gibbs finally shows up and gets some serious volume. 11 carries, 68 yards, a touchdown on the ground. He also had 10 targets, and he caught 9 of them for 58 yards. That was awesome to see. Yeah, I'm curious to see how this develops once Montgomery comes back, and we'll see if.
So.
Yeah. Next week, Detroit Lions at home against the Raiders on Monday Night Football. So look for the Detroit Lions to have a get-right game against the Raiders next week. And then the Baltimore Ravens are at Arizona Cardinals. Look for another dominant game next week with Baltimore. They're going to be rolling. So that'll be fun. All right. How about the Chicago Bears game? Huh? You got the Raiders.
The Bears
scored 12
to
points.
The Chargers next week, right? At Chargers.
Yes. I think the Chargers win that game, but I do think
I think I'm making the Chargers my survivor pick, but I'm going to be thinking about that one a lot this week.
Yeah, I could understand you doing that. That makes sense to me. I do think the Bears will keep it close, though. I think the Chargers' defense is pretty awful, and I don't know off the top of my head. But if you want to take a look, go ahead. The Bears ended up winning 30-12. The Bears improved to 2-5, which I'm not too happy about. I want a good pick. The Raiders fall to 3-4. So the highlight of the game. Go ahead.
Sunday Night Football 8.5. We got to watch that one. We got to watch that game. We got to stream.
Oh well, yes, we will be streaming for that game. Don't worry, that will be high on the priority list. But Deontay Foreman, massive game, 3 tutties. He was out there hurdling guys. Just looked explosive. I think he earned the lead role until Herbert is healthy. However, Darrington Evans, he had 14 carries. So that tells me that once, I would imagine, Roschon gets cleared from protocol and he plays next week, I think Roschon's got a decent workload. I mean, if Darrington Evans
arrested for criminal property damage, so he just fucked some shit up and it was considered criminal.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a gray area. I'm not sure what they consider
it must
criminal
be property damage over a certain amount of money.
Could be
criminal activity involved in property damage. Otherwise, it's just property damage.
So criminal activity, what does that even mean?
Intentionally fucking up somebody's property.
In excess of 25 grand. I was just reading the Justin Ross news.
The Justin Ross stuff. Okay. Well, thanks for the update. We'll pay attention to that. Dude, I was gonna say Teabag. Good old Teabag.
Teabag.
Yeah, not the best numbers, didn't put up the best stat line, but he looked pretty good and confident, and he got a big win. They were moving the ball pretty well. I liked what I saw from him. Okay, put it that way. obviously he's not out there making these amazing plays or something, but he's still making plays out there, and I like what I saw. So Bears defense continues to look good. They held Jacobs to 35 yards on the ground. I mean, this Eberflus led defense is a legit defense. Eberflus should have been our defensive coordinator and not our head coach.
Yeah, hopefully he will be.
Yeah, hopefully he takes that demotion.
I don't think you can just demote someone though. Like, will the team does the team respect you? Like, oh, you sucked at your old job, but you can stay on as DC. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but this Bears defense looks really good. Johnson got a nice pick.
There goes B Cork. Do we trade?
Hey, B Cork.
So you can remain head coach if you're Eberflus. You just have to bring in like an absolute offensive wizard that you let have full control.
Yeah. B Cork, do we trade Justin Fields? We wait until the end of the season to find out what draft picks we have. Once we find out what draft picks we have, we will make that decision. But most likely between the Panthers and the Bears draft picks in the first round, it looks like we're going to be trading Justin Fields.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Like, I think he physically has he's incredibly talented. But what we're hearing that he struggles with that's extremely concerning is his inability to go through his progressions. And if that has to do with the speed of the NFL defenses and he's just having a tough time adapting to that, then that's a serious issue that you can't just really fix. So you got to figure that out this year. You have the rest of the year, hopefully, to determine that and then make a decision. Then
yeah. I'll be watching that closely though. I can't wait to see what happens at the end of the season and what direction this sorry ass organization tries to take us.
That's kind of the issue sometimes with Ohio State quarterbacks is that they're by and large better than everyone else in the conference, and it's really just kind of a shitty conference. So every game outside of Penn State and Michigan Michigan wasn't even that good the last decade. So
just recently.
So you're just tearing up these shitty defenses. You're just athletically superior to all of them. So one of my things with Stroud was I think Stroud's good. He's had some incredible games, but he also makes bad decisions at times because he just knows that they're way better than everyone and he can afford to make mistakes. So
he relies on that athleticism.
Well, you just can when you're way better in 5-star recruits playing against Iowa or Minnesota. It's just they don't get the same athletes, Yeah.
So,
anyways.
Yep. All right. So back to the Bears Raiders game. The Raiders, Devontae Adams dropped an easy touchdown, and I don't think that bodes well after he made the comments that he made. You heard about all that stuff in the news, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, you're talking about your excellence, and you gauge your success on that. Yet you dropping go-ahead touchdowns in the end zone. It just doesn't look good. I'm sure he was mad at himself about that. The Raiders came out and said they're not trading Devontae Adams, so he's staying there. Nothing's moving. Jacoby Myers continues to be productive. Jacoby Myers, my best friend. Yes.
Your best friend besides B Cork.
Yeah, 13 targets, 7 receptions, 50 yards, and a touchdown. He's just, exceeding expectations. I love to see that from my best friend.
It's crazy.
Next week, the Raiders are at the Detroit Lions for Monday Night Football, and the Bears, like we said, are in LA at SoFi taking on the Chargers. So I'll be looking forward to both those games. All right, moving on. The Atlanta Falcons beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 16-13. The Falcons improved to 4-3. The Bucs fall to 3-3. Dude, Bijan was sick, and that shithead Arthur Smith didn't say a fucking word to anybody.
Yeah, they may be in trouble for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the NFL's investigating, and they could be reprimanded for not disclosing that.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yep.
Good. I hope so.
If there's ever like a restriction to a player, like an illness or injury, and it's not disclosed to public, then you can be you can get a slap on the wrist. So we'll see what happens. Under investigation.
Well, good to see. I hope Bijan feels better, and they figure out what the hell happened that game because
did you see
rough,
like
man.
Twitter ran wild with it and was like making up all these fake stories about what?
Oh
he
yeah,
did.
the narratives were being thrown out there, dude. Bijan's in the doghouse, and
They're
then later on,
he was smoking an e-cigarette during film, and when asked to put it away, he blew smoke in the coach's face.
What are we even talking about? Come on, stop it.
Yeah.
That's brutal. This was a defensive type of game. Not a lot of points were scored, 16-13. Kyle Pitts had a sick catch. Did you see the highlights?
Yeah,
Did you saw that catch? That was nuts. I was watching it live and I was like, holy
he had a great
shit.
He had a really good game, right?
Not good enough. They're not targeting him enough. I think I got like 5 targets,
idiotic.
4 catches.
It's not his fault, but didn't he have like handful 80 plus yards?
No, I don't think he had 80 plus yards. I can double check. I thought he had like 4 catches for like 30.
No, he had 1 catch for 32. I know of. 3 for 47. He had a 39-yard catch. He had another one for like 28 that was called back. So maybe that's what I was thinking. Anyways, that's just horrible. I mean, it's horrible coaching.
Yep, absolutely. Ritter didn't throw an interception, so that's a positive.
Yeah, but he had 2 fumbles on the 1-yard line.
I know. Yeah, Drake London had this insane leap over somebody. He spun around and landed on his head, and it was like a 15-minute a review. Yeah, and it down to the 1, and it didn't matter because Ritter fumbled it at the 1. So
in the back of the end zone, gave the ball up. It happened.
Yeah, even when you don't throw picks, you still find a way to fuck it up. So yeah. London seems to have a decent floor though, 6 for 54. It's kind of his MO, so he's still startable moving forward. Rashad White found his production in the air, 6 catches, 65 yards, but was inefficient on the ground. He boasted a 2.6 yards per carry.
Bucks can't run the ball. I don't know.
No.
Some of that's Rashad, but a lot of that is that the team just can't run the ball.
Yeah, agreed.
But
Mike Evans
remains receiving. So
yeah. Mike Evans is still a beast, even in a bad matchup. 6 for 82 and a touchdown. So we'd love to see that. Other than that, it's just kind of your typical story with the Bucks here and the Falcons.
They play Thursday at Bills, and Godwin may be out of that game.
Okay. All right. So we'll keep an eye on that. And the Falcons are taking on Tennessee Titans in Tennessee next week. That should be a fun matchup. Ryan Tannehill versus Desmond Ritter.
Yippee. It'll be interesting to see if the Titans trade Derrick Henry. Those rumors are really starting to pile up.
Do you believe it?
Yeah, I might start targeting Spears before mainstream players.
Well, I mean, Spears
before casuals start to catch on.
Yeah, well, Spears has been pretty active even with Henry, so it's not a bad idea to grab him regardless.
Yeah, I think that could be interesting pickup.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. How about the Pittsburgh fucking Steelers?
It's crazy.
Beating the Rams 24-17. The Steelers improved to 4-2, and the Rams fall to 3-4.
This team is going to be the team that just fucks with your head and just completely mind fucks you. This is the PD Joker mind fuck team.
Yeah, I hate it, dude. Because, how do they keep winning? I don't get it. Najee Harris scores his first touchdown on the season. Only took him 6 games to do it. Jalen Warren scored a touchdown, but he's still dealing with dropping passes issues. I don't know. Pickens shows he's still the wide receiver 1, even with Deontay back in the lineup. That's great to see. But yeah, I don't get the Steelers.
Jags
the defense. Yeah, they're playing the Jags at home next week, so yeah, that'll be an interesting game.
they're gonna somehow become 5-2 and just
No, I'm
continue to-
still riding that. I'm taking the Jags in that game. The Jags need to win that. Well, they've won 3 in a row, so they'll probably lose. But
2.5-point favorites. Man, Tomlin dog at home. That's tough to go against.
yeah, no, I feel you.
But we'll see. What happens.
So how about the Rams, dude? Zach Evans, 0 touches. Royce Freeman was the more efficient runner. However, Henderson had more volume. So they'll be tag team in this backfield until we get word on Kyron coming back. What are you worried about?
I got Freeman on basically every team or tried to.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's going to have a role, but it looks like Henderson's going to be the guy, which sucks. I don't know. He ran better. We'll see what happens. I have a lot of shares of Royce Freeman, and I have 0 shares of Henderson. So,
okay. Yeah, I mean, Freeman was more efficient, so we'll see what happens. I'm sure he still gets a decent workload. How about Puka Nacua? He was incredible. 8 catches, 154 yards on 12 targets, all while Cooper Kupp was quiet. He had 2 for 29. Are we selling high on Puka, or like, is he going to be able to do this every week?
A couple of people I've talked to are basically saying he is a wide receiver 1 in fantasy football.
Rest of season. That's interesting.
I know Dynasty.
Oh, Dynasty. He's a wide receiver 1. Yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, Cooper Kupp is getting old, but
you want to trade for him?
I do have Cooper Kupp. Yeah, maybe we can work something out. Maybe we'll see.
Number 1 draft pick.
No, I'm not giving you John Wells' draft pick. He's 0-10 right now. Probably 0-12 after this week.
No, he's going to be 2-10.
Oh, is he going to win this week?
Yep.
Oh, I gotta take a look at that. John Wells, congratulations.
Give me my pick back.
What? Your pick?
I think you have my pick, right? Someone has my pick. Oh, Nick.
No, I traded. John Wells is the only first round pick I have. Anyway,
I have yours. Yeah.
Next week we talked about Pittsburgh going against
We have 2
Jacksonville.
trades to talk: Moss and not Puka.
Okay. All right. Well, keep that in the pocket there. The Rams are going to be in Dallas taking on the Cowboys next week, so that'll be a tough game for the Rams. We'll see how they do. Arizona Cardinals lose to the Seattle Seahawks 20-10. The Cardinals fall to 1-6. Seahawks improve to 4-2 somehow. Cardinals offensive line is complete garbage. And I say this for all you people that picked up Kyler Murray out there. When he comes back, just temper expectations. This offensive line is trash.
And I don't think Murray can afford to run the ball that much.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he can make their team better.
I don't think so either. Although Josh Dobbs is just continuing to struggle after starting the season kind of hot.
Yeah. I don't have shit to say about this game. Maybe the only thing noteworthy to me is JSN, but no DK. DK out, so it's nothing's noteworthy for me in this game. Besides your boy Bobo is still a factor in fantasy.
Dude, this guy every game he just makes plays, and I don't get it.
Onto the mindfuck PD Joker.
The PD mindfuck. How about this one too?
All PD Joker mindfuck team.
How about this one? Imari DiMercato, right? Everyone dumped a bunch of fab on him. He does nothing. He comes out and he has 13 carries. Well, yeah, everybody dropped him, but now people are going to be adding him again. He has 13 carries for 58 yards. He put up 4.5 yards per carry, so not a lot of volume, but decently efficient. He caught 4 of his 5 targets. Damian Williams was the only other running back to record a carry, and he only had 1.
Makes sense.
So, literally, where was Ingram? Was Ingram even active in the game? He got 0 touches. So, another PD mindfuck because I just don't understand what the hell's going on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Arizona Cardinals taking on the Baltimore Ravens at home next week, like we talked about, and the Seattle Seahawks are taking on the Cleveland Browns at home. So. 2 tough matchups for the Cardinals and the Seahawks next week. That dog is all over you. All right, we have 3 games left to cover here. The Green Bay Packers lose to the Denver Broncos, 19-17. The Packers fall to 2-4. The Denver Broncos improved to 2-5. This was another game that you got right that I got wrong. By the way, there was like 4 of those. I just had a terrible week in Pick'em this week. I had an awful week, and you somehow seem to just get better and better. Christian Watson suffered a knee injury. MRI is incoming. We'll find out more information about that.
Sucks.
Yeah. But
Good
other than
for
that,
us, it sucks in general.
yeah. Green Bay offense just continues to struggle against an easy matchup. Jordan Love just doesn't look that good at all. He's not the guy.
No. Well,
what did the Packers do?
I'm not going to go that far yet, but he's like
struggling.
They're not good, the Packers.
Yeah. So Aaron Jones.
It might be his fault. So I don't know. We'll see.
Aaron Jones, low volume, only had 8 carries for 5 targets. AJ Dillon was the star of the show, leading rusher and leading receiver.
It's all that farm sim he's playing. He's found a way. He found his therapeutic. He found something therapeutic to clear his mind for games, and playing farm sim until 3 a.m. is what it is.
Yeah, I guess so. Jaden Reed caught a touchdown, but off a tipped pass. So for people that are looking at box scores, that was luck of the tip there. Javonte Williams starting to separate himself from the other running backs in the room. 15 carries for 82 yards. He did have a touchdown that was called back early on, so almost got one. Cortland Sutton, another good game, 6 for 76 and a touchdown, but that's kind of all that stood out to me in this game. Next week, the Green Bay Packers are taking on the Minnesota Vikings in Green Bay. The Denver Broncos are playing at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. So
how about T
tough
Swift?
Game. What about T Swift? The handshake or what? What's
she's in love.
Yeah, they do look like they are fully doing this thing, you know.
I love how Jackson Mahomes was like in behind her, and everyone's like, "Oh fuck, keep her away from Jackson Mahomes."
Yeah, I mean, Kelsey. I mean, they probably have had a conversation about him, right? Kelsey was like, "Look, just fucking avoid this guy at all costs."
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So moving on to 2 more games left. We got the Los Angeles Chargers losing to the Kansas City Chiefs, 31-17. The Chargers fall to 2-4, and the
Hey, you were
Chiefs...
right about this one. I thought it was going to be a closer game, and you were right. Two touchdown win. Herbert. To be honest, Brandon Staley is the worst coach in the NFL.
Trash.
Like, he makes the Bears coaching look good. So
how can you be
Chargers
2-4?
Fucked. You have the best. You have one of the most talented quarterbacks.
How are they 2-4? How are they 2-4?
They are very poorly coached. Palmer
you have Joe. You have
133. That was it.
You have Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack with Derwin James, and you have
Asante Samuel Jr.
Dude, your lineup is stacked, and it's just it's terrible. The Chiefs dominant. This is why people drafted Kelsey and Mahomes in rounds 1 and 2. You know, this combination there.
My boy Rashi, 560 and a touchdown.
Yes, yeah. Rashi continues to get better and better. Highest targeted wide receiver outside of Kelsey, so that's good to note. And we'll probably see that continue. I know they signed and they brought back Mecole Hardman, but
it's not gonna mean shit for that.
Nope. Isaiah Pacheco was inefficient on the ground, but he did catch a touchdown pass to save his day. So that's great to see. But yeah, other than that, dude, Mahomes 424 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did throw a pick, but just completely washed out by his insane day, along with Kelsey, 12 for 179 and a touchdown. Like, Kelsey he wants to show out for Swift, right? Like that's.
I mean, he's definitely feels like he's unlocked another level to his superhero with dating the most famous person in the world.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. All right. Well, as far as the Chargers side, Josh Kelly decides to play well now that Eckler's back, which I find
T Swift made
extremely annoying.
$4.2 billion on her fucking tour.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
My
wouldn't
dad.
mind dating a girl that just made $4.2 billion. So,
I was talking about my dad was telling me about a driving job, a truck driving job. In Chicago, there's this company that you drive for talent. So like you go on tours with concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift gave a bonus to all of her drivers, $500,000 to every driver.
Well,
That's insane.
do we need to get? Do we need to?
I need to get in. I need to get in somehow, some way. So
we'll try to figure it out.
Yeah. How about Josh Palmer shows up huge as a big game, 5 for 133. That was great to see. Josh Palmer finally getting some action. Eckler, hard time getting things going. Very quiet day for Eckler. I think that just means this Chiefs defense is for real. Like this Chiefs defense is really, really, really good. And we'll see that develop throughout the season.
Damn it.
You okay over there?
Yeah, I was trying to check our underdog. You got an email. We'll figure it out later.
Okay.
Let's hammer out this last game. I want to get going for this Stros Game 7. ALCS.
Big Astros Game 7. That's awesome, dude. Good luck for the Stros. I'll be watching too as I watch this.
2 screens. Tonight is a 2-screen guarantee. You have to. Herbert is missing Mike Williams from B Cork. Maybe, but not really. It's that Brandon Staley is fucking horrible.
Yeah, I mean, what week?
Johnson may suck.
What week was that Williams got injured? Was that like week 2 or 3? Was it that early?
Yeah,
it had to be, right? Yeah,
3 maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Mike Williams makes that much of a difference for this offense. So
it's that Staley just sucks.
Yeah,
I mean, he does make granted, Eckler got injured early, Williams injured, but like Staley is a fucking horrible coach. He is so bad with clock management and just basic coaching decisions. He fucks up.
Yeah, he's rough. All right, so let's talk real quick. We have a quick question from AS. Thank you for joining, as always. Trade Amari Cooper for Ridley or Deontay Johnson.
No.
Yeah, no. I'm staying away from that. I think Amari had a bad game, but he'll step it up. All right, so moving on to the last game. It was on last night. We have the Miami Dolphins lose to the Philadelphia Eagles 31-17. The Philly improves to 6-1. Miami falls to 5-2. I feel like Philly just flexed on Miami.
This was the other game that I was spot on with. It was the Ravens in this game.
Yes, I did switch to the Phillies later on. So I know I talked a big game for the Dolphins, but prior to the game time, I was like, what am I thinking?
They just have
Phillies at home. Yeah, not to mention
on the road against these tier 1 teams, they have gotten dominated. And like I was saying pregame too, like the way to beat the Dolphins, like they do have weaknesses, and it's pressuring Tua and controlling the line, and that's like the 2 things that the Eagles are best at.
Yeah, definitely. How about those uniforms, dude? Best uniforms ever created, in my opinion.
Sorry, Max just took a picture of me. I don't know what you just said.
The Kelly green uniforms, the best uniforms ever.
Yeah,
absolutely sick. How about that sweater too? That hoodie that Coach Sirianni was wearing, nasty.
Great. All of the gear is great.
Yes, yeah. The helmets that needs to be their full-time uniform.
Yeah, Truck and I are low-key Eagles fans because our first, for those listening that don't know, our first ever recording was at Chickies and Pete's across from the link. We had 32 beers. And a few Jameson shots, and we will at some point release that footage. It's just going to be when the subs are a lot more up, and we're going to build we're gonna build up a very special vault recording.
Those are some fun days. But yeah, that's AJ Brown, dude, 5th straight game with over 125 receiving yards. Just continues to dominate. He looks like one of the best receivers in the NFL right now.
AJ, yeah, I think he is. It's incredible what he's doing.
Yeah, really is. Swift was a little quiet, but still looked pretty good out there. Gainwell vultured that touchdown later on in the game. Not sure why. It doesn't make any sense to me. Swift should be getting all the carries. I mean, that was definitely an L I took early on, but love to watch Swift now in that number 0. How about Devontae Smith? Still not getting enough targets. It's unfortunate to see, but we'll see how that develops. But that's frustrating for where we drafted Devonta Smith. The Dolphins struggle against good teams. First the Bills, now the Eagles. Wonder what's going to happen with this team as they move forward. Does Mike McDaniel make necessary changes? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I will say that AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, that where I was positioned on those two was a pretty big swing and a miss for me this year.
Yes. I'm right there with you.
I truly thought that the gap was closing and that they were pretty similar, like in terms of where they're going to end up in fantasy. And I was in on Devonta and out on AJ because of the difference in where they were being drafted. And AJ is just dominating right now. So I was wrong about that.
Yeah, me too. He wins some.
I'm down 33 points in fantasy and still have CMC and Hawkinson to play. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. You could be down over 40 points, and I would say you still have a chance. You can still pull it off.
The only thing I would be worried about if I were you is how much CMC plays here.
That's the 49ers go up early.
So, yeah, that would be my only worry.
Yeah.
But are you good?
Yeah. I was just gonna wrap up that game. The Dolphins couldn't run the ball at all against that Philly front. Hill had a quiet game, but still had 11 receptions for 88 yards and a touchdown. So a Hill quiet game is a massive game for other people, which I find funny. Waddle's still productive, 6 for 63, better than his average. So he's still getting some work, but not enough in my opinion.
He was knocked out for that game for quarter and a half, probably.
Yeah, I did want to mention, Kulz and I did not do any Sunday episodes. Sunday was an insane day for me. I had to get up at midnight on Saturday and drive to Michigan and then drive to Buffalo. It was just a nonstop busy day. So Sunday night during this game, I shut it off after the first quarter. I had to watch it later. I had to fall asleep. I was so tired, but I don't know. I believe you though.
Yeah, Waddle was injured.
He was out. So he was out after the first quarter.
He was in the locker room for a while. Like,
oh wow! So if
the rest of the second
case,
quarter and most of the third, he may not have showed back up until the fourth quarter actually. So it was longer than that. It was all of 2 quarters that he was.
Wow.
Out.
Okay, so that makes me feel much better about his 6 for 63 then.
Yeah, he had like 3 catches late in the fourth.
Okay. All right. Let's go Waddle.
Yep.
All right. That about does it, though. Miami is taking on the Patriots next week in Miami. Philadelphia is at the Washington Commanders. Should be an easy game for both of those guys, both those teams. What up, Pooch? What's his name?
Leia, girl.
Oh, Leia, girl. My bad. Leia, cutie. All right. So that about does it. That wraps up the Week 7 reactions. Again, this article will be posted on our Substack, thefantasyroadshow.substack.com. Just enter in your email and get all of our weekly articles. Check us out on Twitter at fantasy_trucker, at Kulz_sports, at Fantasy Roadshow. And as always, this episode is brought to you by Rule 1 Proteins. Go to www.rule1proteins.com. Enter in Roadies40 at checkout to get 40% off. Brendan, I'm a Titans fan, and I'm having a terrible day. Yeah, sorry.
Truck is a diehard Bears fan, so You guys are kind of in the same boat. Bears probably have a brighter future as of right now, but
hey, let's go teabag, huh? Let's go teabag.
no.
All right, we appreciate everybody out there joining us. We'll be live later on this week. Tomorrow, at some point, we're going to be doing a waiver episode. So please like the video. Join us at youtube.com/sportsethos. Click the bell to get notified when we go live.
Please, Lord, let CMC and Hawkinson have over 33 points so Brendan Dupree has a less depressing football season. I did my part,
Amen.
Brendan. Yep.
Amen. All right, well, that about does it. Everybody, buckle up.